Welcome to More Please. It's Halloween week and the tea is bubbling. I'm giving you my take on Wendy Williams, Mike Tyson, and a little bit of Hocus Pocus too, all chosen by you. Plus, a few friends stopped by to give tips on how to celebrate this quarantine Halloween. Are you ready? Because it's More Please. Oh, hey y'all. It is Halloween week. Y'all, let me tell you, before the show even started, I was going through trying to come up with a costume for today. And so I came up with a 70s rocker. Here we go. It was supposed to be a pirate. It was actually supposed to be my favorite costume, which was the Elson, which is the male Elsa, but here you go. But anyway, now that we've all settled and everything like that, let's get to Tony's take. Ooh, the graphics. We are big time over here. All right, so listen, I asked you all what you wanted to hear my take on as far as the hottest topics that have been happening this week, and all of these have been chosen by you. So if you are watching live, go ahead and comment and let me know what you think about these topics, and who knows, your comment may end up right here on the screen. So we're first gonna start with Wendy Williams. Now listen, if you're a Wendy watcher like I am, you have been paying attention to Wendy. You love the fact that she was back after the whole quarantine and everything like that. And when a friend of mine asked me to give my take on Wendy, my first thought was, oh, he wants me to talk about the fact that she announced her Lifetime movie is gonna come out in January. It's finished, filming and everything like that. But then as I dived in a little bit more, there seems to be a lot going on behind the scenes. First of all, what hasn't been addressed yet is the fact that DJ Booth is no longer there. It's Sus One. So that's number one. Number two, DJ Booth has come out and saying that there's a whole lot of shenanigans going on backstage that people are not aware of. And so he's eventually, I think, going to spill the tea, allegedly. I've learned from Wendy to say allegedly, that way I don't get myself in trouble. But my thing is this, if Wendy is having issues, we all know that, she has had some issues in the past. She's dealing with lymphedema and everything like that. If she's having a bad day, y'all do not put her on national TV. Allow her to take a day to regroup, reset, restore. Y'all can put on a rerun, we'll watch it, and then just keep it moving. Don't put this woman on national TV to make herself look bad. She's going through a lot. There are things going on that I think we're not privy to. So if she's having a bad day, y'all, let her have a day, because a lot of people were saying last week she seemed a little more aloof and loopy than usual. And I watched the episodes and I saw it a little bit, but no more than usual. But I don't know. Listen, if there's stunts and souls and shenanigans that are going on backstage, y'all make sure you take care of it, because that needs to be taken care of. Self-care is more important than anything. So Wendy, I'm just going to send a prayer and some love to you and your staffers. So moving on from that, Hocus Pocus 2 has been announced. That's right. The ladies, Miss Bet, Kathy, and Sarah Jessica, are going to reunite for Hocus Pocus 2. But before that, this week, they are reuniting for an event to benefit the New York Restoration Project in a little reunion called In Search of the Sanderson Sisters, which you can go and buy tickets for. I don't know if I want a Hocus Pocus 2. How do you all feel? I feel like Hocus Pocus 1 is great. And especially for me, I'm not a horror type person. So I don't sit around and watch Freddy and Jason and Child's Play and all that kind of stuff during Halloween, because I'm a little too nervous and too scary, and I end up sleeping with the light on and all that kind of stuff. You can't even find me watching Michael Jackson's Thriller. That's how scared I am. But Hocus Pocus is enough for me to feel like I'm participating in Halloween without fully participating in Halloween. But I don't know if I want a Hocus Pocus 2. Like, I'm excited that they're getting back together because it is a really great movie. My hope is that it's just better than the first. If you're gonna do all this and do a Hocus Pocus 2 and do a reboot, it better be real good. So I am straddling the fence. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Say it in the comments, say it now. Let me know if you're down for a Hocus Pocus 2. But check out the reunion this Friday, October 30th, for the New York Restoration Project. You can go buy $10 tickets at nyrpshop.org. Check that out. I am. So y'all make sure you do too. And last but not least, somebody wanted me to talk about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has put out an EDM song. I don't know if y'all have heard it or not, but I went ahead and checked it out. We can't play it here because I don't have that kind of budget, but it's basically about how he's the greatest fighter and how he's bit ears and all that kind of stuff. Listen, if you want to venture off into something else, by all means, go ahead and do it. But if you need a little pick-me-up lightheartedness or something, then please go check out Mike Tyson's EDM song. And then also check him out. He's like getting ready for a fight later on in November, which I wasn't even aware that he still fights. Although I'm not really aware of sports anyway, because the only thing I watch is the concert during the Super Bowl. So that's me. But anyway, go check out his new EDM song. It's cute. So there's that. All right, so that has been Tony's Take. Hey, y'all stick around because I have some Halloween tips coming up from my friends. Don't go anywhere. It's more, please.
I just started my first talk show with an apology. I'm so Canadian. Okay, it's very hard for me not to apologize for that apology. Hi, this is Hump Day with Hampshire. I'm Emily Hampshire. This is my first virtual talk show. It's my first anything talk show.
It started as a cough or maybe a sneeze. Now here we are in quarantine. And if you act, dance, play or sing, chances are you're on the couch not doing a thing. So watch Hump Day with Hampshire. Have some fun before we retire. Take a little break from the quagmire. It's Hump Day with Hampshire.
And if anyone's tuning in right now, they're like, this is the weirdest show I've ever seen.
Literally, we're going to think that they're on some psychotropic Friends.
All right, Halloween week wouldn't be Halloween week without a little Halloween Kiki. So let's have a Kiki. Okay, so during this time of year, and especially during now, we all still want to dress up for Halloween, but maybe we can't afford to go all out like we were planning to do. So I've invited some of my friends to join the show to talk about what costumes you can use simply by using items that you may already have. So joining me first up is my fellow host and friend, Yale. Yale, come on in.
Hello.
Hi, Yale. How are you?
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here. Like, look, you see this wig? Is
I
it
love
everything?
it. It's perfect.
I love what you, first of all, y'all, I absolutely adore Yale. Like, she is the most fabulous, fun, like, optimistic girl like you will ever like encounter. And we've had so much fun together when we used to host stuff at the previous network that we'll leave it at that. And so Yale, okay, so I'm gonna try to guess what you are. Oh, there's more. You know, look at that. She incorporated a mask. Okay, wait. Like, I want to say badass bitch, but I'm sure there's more to it.
Badass bitch is pretty close.
Okay.
This is my post-apocalyptic outfit. I thought we're kind of in an apocalypse. I need something that I can wear. I also wanted to incorporate a mask, so I duct tape it. Duct tape, fishnet. It's a vest that I turned into a shirt.
Yeah.
I threw on a belt that's fallen apart. And then on bottom, just whatever fits. That's what you got. Post-apocalyptic. I'm ready to fight zombies. I'm ready to fight everything but the virus. I've got my mask for that.
See, I love that. And all you did was you went in your closet, you put the stuff together, and it works. And you still have something to celebrate this Halloween.
Absolutely. And I can wear it out if I'm willing to risk it.
There you go. And at least you're still being safe while you're out there risking it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you doing anything for Halloween this year?
I'm actually hosting trivia tonight at a bar. It's outside, and I have a completely different costume that I'm wearing to that.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, at least you're doing so, because I feel like some people are a little defeated when it comes to Halloween, and especially this year. So I'm glad you're out doing something and celebrating this year.
Yeah, me too. And candy's on sale, so I would go buy it now.
Listen, because ain't nobody tricking or treating this year, so you might as well go ahead and get, because they got all the candy. I'm sure it's already 50% off.
It was yesterday.
Boom. I'm heading to Target. Well, I'm gonna go to Amazon. I'm gonna have them send it to me.
Right.
Well, have fun, Yael. Thank you so much for popping in and showing your post-apocalyptic costume.
Thank you so much. It was great to be here.
Oh, thank you, Yael. And hopefully I'll see you soon. All right, so next up we have Brandon. Brandon's gonna come in. So, hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Okay, let me see. Like you're giving like Mickey Mouse, like fitness Mickey realness, but what are we doing?
Fitness Mickey or gym rat. I gotta have a prop. I gotta have a prop.
I love it. Listen, no costume is complete without a prop. Okay, so tell me how you put this all together.
Well, so it is just basically regular gym clothes that I have since I haven't been going to the gym and just working out at home. And then I just threw on little headphones and some face paint that I had. And then this hat I actually had from a few years ago where I was Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
But I would suggest it's not super hard to do if you have like just some construction paper at home or anything like that. You can cut ears and put them into like a baseball cap, and that's a really easy way to do it. Another way is you can, just order a mouse headband. They're pretty inexpensive and easy to find, and you could get that shipped in too. But for the most part, all this other stuff I did find it in my house.
And that's exactly because we're both the creatives and the same. We both have like a box of like potential costumes and things that we can utilize.
You never know, right?
You stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So like I put this all together. These are pieces of all different kinds of stuff and costumes and stuff. And I said, you know what? 70s rocker. That's what we're going to be.
That's what we're doing. Yeah. No, I almost did a rocker type thing. I have a leather jacket that has like a fur collar, and I was going to be like a cool cat. And I was going to have the rocker jacket and stuff. So we would have kind of matched a little bit.
We could have been like frenzies. It would have been like a new Disney movie.
Yeah.
Now, are you
doing the cat?
Are you doing anything for Halloween this year?
No, we have our show that we've been doing that we'll do on Saturday in the afternoon. But then other than that, no, not really anything planned. Obviously, with everything going on, it's just kind of. Yeah. But probably gonna call some friends up, maybe do some FaceTime or Zooming or something.
Well, that'll be fun. And then if you do that, you already have a costume.
See, I'm ready.
There you go. Well, Brandon, happy Halloween, and thank you for popping in. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll hopefully see you soon. All right, and last up, we have Cassandra, who is actually doing something very interesting, and we'll get more to that later. Oh my gosh, Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
I love that.
For those social distance haircuts.
And to keep people like 6 feet away. Like you can just stick your hand out and be like, nope, back up. Now, this is interesting and elaborate, and you made all this from stuff you have in your house. So walk me through it. How did you put everything together, and what did you use?
Sure. So the only piece I didn't have is the Edward Scissorhands wig. I could have done crazy hair if I wanted to. But the hands I made with black evening gloves. The scissors, it was a stencil I downloaded online, and I had those science fair boards, like those foamy boards, and I cut them out using that. Silver spray paint, some red and black paint for the top of the scissors. And I glued it to some Velcro that was then wrapped around the fingers. It's a weird, complicated, I made it work. And then used some paper clips as the joints for a little bit more stabilization on the hand.
Oh, wow.
And then belts in the closet, and I live in New York. We all have lots of black.
Now, one of the things that you're doing that I found interesting was that you challenged yourself this month to do a different costume every day just by utilizing things in your house. And I think we have a photo of a couple of those looks. There we go. And all of this was just stuff that you had around the house. What made you do that for this month?
Well, I love Halloween, and I love any reason to dress up in costume, and that's why I have a lot of this stuff around the house. I'm of the theory that I should be able to throw anything together at the drop of a hat at any minute. I have friends who will invite me to the most random party and be like, dress like you're from outer space, show up in 5 minutes. I'm like, cool, I have stuff in my closet. And so I was like, it's really disappointing that we can't do Halloween. Halloween's actually on a Saturday for once. Can't go out.
I know.
I love to do the Village Halloween Parade, so a Saturday night Village Halloween Parade would have been epic. And so that wasn't happening this year. And I was like, what can I do? And I was toying around with the idea. I have so much stuff in my closet. I bet I can come up with a costume every day. So I sat down, made a list of 31 costumes. I was like, here we go. I'm going to make one every day with whatever I have.
Wow, I love the commitment of it, and you sent me like your whole album, including the one that you posted yesterday, and I was in awe just at the many costumes you can come up with just with stuff that you have in your house. Like that's amazing. And I mean, during this quarantine, we have time, so you can just sit and have fun and like do this for you, especially since you love Halloween.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm keeping all my friends and family entertained too. So I don't know what they're going to do without me next month. I got to dress up like a turkey every day or something.
Well, we will definitely all look forward to that. Well, Cassandra, thank you so much for popping in, and continue having a great time this Halloween season as best as you can.
Thank you. Have a happy Halloween.
Thank you. You too. Bye. All right, so y'all, now that we have the costume, we got to talk about things to watch, because I feel like it's a tradition to watch scary movies like the classics and things like that. But I want to bring in Tyler Jensen to give you a few other options for you to watch to really spook up your Halloween this year. So Tyler is here. Hi.
Ooh. Hey, everybody.
Ooh.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being had. I don't know where I started like saying that, but anytime someone says thank you for having me, I always just automatically say thank you for being had. You take that as you will.
I've had the best time being had.
Okay, so Tyler, walk us through. We're gonna go first with TV shows. What are some TV shows that you recommend for people to watch during this Halloween season?
I have to preface that I love horror. I love all of it, from the scariest scary things to the really tame, family-friendly, easy access points. And so I'm going to give you a little list depending on where your interest with horror lies. If you are super into being scared, I have to start with Host on Shudder. It is, it is this movie that was filmed during quarantine this year. It is 6 girls having a Zoom seance from their homes. And believe it or not, something goes wrong and they all start dying one by one. And it is the most terrified I have been in under an hour this entire year from the comfort of my home. I love it so much.
Listen, When they did a movie about the Ouija board, I was like, I can't do that because now I'm on the Ouija board. Now they done created a movie with Zoom, and we use Zoom all the time. So like, we gonna have to pray before we go on Zoom.
Exactly. You won't sleep right all night. I promise you.
Okay.
If that's too scary, I do recommend Lovecraft Country on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
It is a full spectrum, like emotional experience in horror with monsters, with historical context. It is going to give you the feelings, and it's going to terrify you and outrage you and give you some comfort in the end. I have to recommend it. It is gross. The gore in this show is vicious, visceral. It is probably the grossest thing I've seen on screen all year.
And coming from you, then I know that it's super gross. And everyone's been talking about this. Like, a lot of my friends have asked me if I've watched it. Now, listen, I don't know if you heard earlier, but I said Hocus Pocus like is my jam. Like, that's my limit. Like, Hocus Pocus is like, I'm done.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is not the show for you.
See,
right.
And then
if you're not watching Michael Jackson's Thriller in comfort, like you're not going to get through this show.
It's the when he turns into a zombie and then the eyes that gets me.
That was the first thing I saw as a kid that I was like, I like scary things. I love pop music as well. And then this together made me the filmmaker I am today.
Oh, listen, the first thing I watched that was scary was Child's Play, and I said, nope, I'm good.
It's scary. Child's Play 2 is really good. I personally love Seed of Chucky after he gets married and has a kid. It is queer horror at its best. You have to watch it.
What else you got in the TV department?
If those two things are too much for you, I have to, and if you like reality shows, right now, the Boulet Brothers' new season of Dragula, Resurrection, is on Shudder. It is a one-time Halloween special. It's kind of like their version of All Stars, where they've gotten 2 or 3 queens per season from the first 3 seasons to come back and compete for $20,000 and a spot to be on season 4 of Dragula. It is gorgeous, filthy, disgusting, beautiful, and really empowering. I loved it.
I mean, listen, if you love RuPaul's Drag Race, but you also love horror, then like this is the perfect combination for you.
Absolutely. You will have a great time. It will hit you in the heart like it hit me, and then it will give you a really strong, bloody, disgusting finish. And there's a really, really sweet ode to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch in the very end. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you'll appreciate it when you get there.
See, I like when they do little nods like that because then it makes you go back and watch it.
Absolutely. And if all of that is too scary for you and you just want to have a good time in a spooky atmosphere, you can do no wrong by watching What We Do in the Shadows on FX. It is based off of a 2013 movie. It's kind of like this hybrid Office, Parks and Recreation kind of mockumentary about a trio of vampires who live in a house together, and their human familiar who is like their intern who has to do all the things for them that they don't want to do. It is hysterical. It has tons of celebrity cameos. Everyone who's ever played a vampire in movies and TVs, you'll see them, and it will be hysterical.
Okay, now I think this one is one I can handle. So
yes.
I may do Hocus Pocus, and then
right. You'll die laughing.
Oh, let's hope not. Now that we have movies, TV shows covered, what about movies? Because everyone's go-to are like the Freddys, the Jasons, the Michael Myers, like
love them all. Love all of those dudes, but there is a trio of leading horror ladies that we never talk about, and it is my job to remind the world that Angela, Mary Lou, and Angela are just as good, if not better, than Michael, Freddie, and Jason.
Okay, introduce us to the ladies.
First of all, if you have seen Sleepaway Camp, you know Angela. She comes back for the sequel, Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and she is not to be messed with. Let me tell you,
Listen, if he's packing like that, then look at that book bag.
Exactly. She's got a chainsaw in there. She's got a Jason mask and a Freddy glove. She has come to make sure that everyone at camp is playing by the rules and is very respectable. Because if they're not, if they do drugs or have sex, she will terminate them.
Oh, well then I feel like she's about to kill everybody because that's all people do when they go to camp.
Have you ever seen Serial Mom?
Yes.
Yes. So this is like the 80s slasher version of Serial Mom. Everyone who needs to die does. And it is hysterical. If you watch it with a group of people, you will laugh, you will scream, you will laugh again. It's very, very fun.
Love that. Okay. You know what? You almost maybe convinced me to watch that one. But what's another one you have?
Another one that I absolutely love is Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. It is technically a sequel to the 1980s Prom Night with Jamie Lee Curtis in name alone. It has nothing to do with that movie other than supposedly being set at the same high school. This is more of a supernatural story. It's almost like a female Freddy Krueger mixed with Carrie. It is centered around a prom night prank that goes bad, and Mary Lou, the hottest girl in school, is burned alive. Now 30 years later, they're having another prom and someone opens the cursed chest in the basement and her spirit is running wild through the school. She possesses a girl and decides to start killing people who were responsible for her death 30 years ago.
See, this is why you cannot. In every horror movie starts with somebody doing something that they ain't got no business doing. Like nobody told you to light the candle, no one told you to open the chest, no one told you to go to the gravesite, and then that's how everything starts awry. See, people just need to sit down.
This movie is fantastic. If this movie was made today, Mary Lou would not be a villain. We would all root for her. We would love her. She is very in charge of her sexuality and empowered, and everyone else has a problem with it. And she's like, well, I don't need you then. And then she kills them. It's great.
Mary Lou would probably be going through the internet and Wi-Fi and slashing people on their computers and doing Zoom meetings.
There is a computer death in this movie.
Of course there is. It would not be a slasher movie without some sort of technological death that happens.
All right. After that, for the ultimate Halloween party, you have to rent Night of the Demons from 1987, 88. It's got my girl, Linnea Quigley, in there, who is the ultimate scream queen. This movie will do for Tubes of Lipstick what Showers did for Psycho. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It will stay with you forever.
I'm looking at the poster and I'm just like that looks like a movie that once I close I won't be able to sleep for a couple of nights. I'll have to watch something like Care Bears or something after.
It will disturb you. It definitely, but you'll have the most fun doing it. It's wild. It's ruckus. It is the best night of your life.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody out there watch it and then let me know how you feel about it. Now, what about some family friendly? Because everyone's at home with the kid, and we can't trick or treat. So, what's something that's a little more family friendly for families?
Something that really awesome that just dropped this week is The Witches on HBO Max. It is a remake of the 1990s Witches that had Angelica Houston and some creepy John Henson puppetry, which if you haven't seen that version, you definitely should. But if you have small kids at home who don't want to watch something that old, this movie will suffice. It is creepy. It has amazing fashion. Everything about it is just like the right kind of spooky, but not disturbing. It's not going to ruin anyone's life watching this movie, but you will have fun. The Grand High Witch reveal of everyone removing their wigs and showing their true witch self is that perfect kind of RuPaul and Boulet Brothers Dracula like merging. We are getting super excited to be as grotesque as we want to be.
I love that. Okay, so I may add this one to my Hocus Pocus,
yes.
What We Do in the Shadow, and then Witches. That will be my Halloween binge watching. Now we have to talk about the film that you directed called Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, which it's interesting because we just met and we were talking about this and you mentioned this and I was like, I actually heard about this film for the first time like a couple of months ago and I found it very interesting, this whole phenomenon that happened. So let people know what the film is about and where they can find it.
Yes, me and my co-director, Roman Kimianti, followed around Mark Patton for 5 years to make this movie. If you don't know, Mark Patton was the star of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge, which is, quote unquote, the gayest horror movie that has ever been made. And he was a up and coming actor. He was on Broadway with Cher, Kathy Bates, Sandy Dennis, Karen Black, in Robert Altman's Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean. He did that play, he did that movie, and he was about to be the next big thing. He gets his first starring role in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and it derails everything. This was his first starring movie. It was his last movie. He disappeared for 30 years, and he finally came out of the woodwork to tell his story. And it turns out that, like, being the lead actor in the gayest horror movie ever made had a huge price attached to it in 1985. This movie, Freddy's Revenge, came out 2 months after Rock Hudson died of AIDS, and Hollywood was a very dangerous place for a closeted gay actor like Mark Patton. He gets to address all of those demons that he encountered from the 80s, as well as confronting the cast and the crew of Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and learning stuff about himself along the way. It is a great thing for fans of the Elm Street series. If you've never seen a horror movie in your life, you will still be on this journey with him and discover stuff you didn't know about the 80s. There was definitely stuff I didn't know when I started this project as a horror fan, and then to hear it from him and go through that journey with him these last 5 years has completely changed my life.
Well, this is definitely on my list of things to watch because, you know, it was such a thing. Like, even as I started researching it more, like it was a huge deal because Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street, the first movie was a huge hit. And so everyone was waiting for part 2. And then for part 2 to have the things that happened to it happen, like I find it very interesting to dive into his point of view through this film. So I'm definitely going to be checking that one out.
Right. Not only is Nightmare on Elm Street 2 famous for being the gayest horror movie of all time, it's the only slasher movie of the 80s to have a final boy instead of a final girl. So Mark Patton gets labeled as the first male scream queen because his scream in this movie is very effeminate. And that was kind of the thing that canceled the rest of his career. They're like, you can carry a movie, but you can't pass as straight, and therefore you'll never work again. It was it's very heavy-handed in that kind of way. And we travel with him as he meets fans of the movie and gets to tell his story. And it's very tender in the very end.
Well, and where can they find the film?
You can rent Scream Queen on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, Vudu, Vimeo, YouTube. You can stream it exclusively on Shudder, and you can always buy a DVD wherever you get DVDs.
Well, Tyler, thank you so much for popping in and giving us all the things that we need to watch and see this Halloween. And I truly appreciate it. I've learned a lot. I hope you guys have. And I appreciate you coming in and sharing your horror knowledge with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tyler. All right, y'all. So, of course, now that you got the costume, now you got what to watch, now you need something to eat. Because if you're like me, you definitely need a snack. So I'm going to send it over to my good friend and host of Hallmark's Home and Family to show you how to mummify a classic treat. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Tony. Oh my goodness, I am so happy to see you. I miss you so much. And happy Halloween. So today I am going to show you a treat that is not only festive, but it's super easy. Anyone can do this. These Mummy Rice Krispie treats are the cutest thing and they are absolutely delicious. I'm gonna show you how to make it. So it all starts with a Rice Krispie treat. Now these you can make yourself. They're very simple. All you need to do is melt some butter in a pan, add some marshmallows and add some Rice Krispie cereal, stir it all up, and then pop it into a baking dish that's been sprayed with some cooking spray. And I like to then spray some cooking spray on my hands and press it down into the pan and let it cool. If you're like me and not very patient, you can actually pop it into the fridge or the freezer to let it set up to expedite the process a little bit. Then once they're done, bring them out and cut them into rectangles. This is very easy to do, and I have a bunch here that you can see. Okay, so now we're gonna add the chocolate. And this chocolate I have right here is a white candy coating chocolate. So it comes in sort of those little discs, and sometimes you can get it in a bar. It is different than the little white chocolate chips that you get that you make your cookies with. So the difference is the candy coating chocolate will actually harden at room temperature. And if you melt down the other chocolate chips that you use in your chocolate chip cookies, then it will melt, but it doesn't harden. It actually will still stay slightly soft, which is totally fine. But I wanted to have these out at room temperature. If you have any trouble melting your white chocolate chips, add a little bit of a coconut oil or some kind of an oil, like a cooking oil to it, and then that will help loosen it up a little bit so that you're able to work with it a little bit better. So the first thing I like to do is actually dip the Rice Krispie into the chocolate. And the reason I like to do that is I like chocolate, but also I feel like it gives it just a good base. All right, so we have those there. Now, I have melted some more of the white chocolate into a piping bag. Now I know this looks fancy, but do not worry, it's actually very easy. So this is actually something that obviously all the bakers who are baking the fancy cakes and things use. But you can also use a plastic bag, pour everything into one of the corners and then cut that corner off, and you can use it for this. Very, very simple. So I melted it in the same way, just in the microwave, just in about 30-second intervals so that it melts slowly. And I poured it into my little piping bag here. So I did a couple already, and all you need to do is squeezing from the back of the bag, not the front. You just do these cute little lines to create that mummy look. Isn't that fun? It's so cute, and it's so easy. Anybody can do this, and it's delicious. And if you have leftover chocolate, you just get to eat it. Now we add on the little eyes. Aren't they the cutest little buddy things? Oh my gosh, I love it. This is what makes it fun. Okay, so I got these eyes just at the craft supply store. So whatever craft supply store you have near you, or you could go to a bakery supply as well. Okay, so then take your little eyes and place them on to where the chocolate is. And you wanna make sure to do this when the chocolate is still soft and has not hardened yet. If the chocolate hardens, then it won't stick on to the chocolate. So you just pop these on, and you can use different sizes for the eyes, mix it up, and they look so stinking cute. I love that. And if you love this recipe or are looking for more Halloween recipes, I have so many on my website. You can go to FromScratchWithMaria.com. Oh my gosh, isn't that the cutest thing? I think I'm gonna eat one. I'm not gonna wait for it to dry. I'm gonna eat it. You can see, it's already starting to harden up. Happy Halloween! I love you.
Oh my goodness, Maria, thank you so much. It's so good on a new Halloween twist on a classic treat. You guys, please make sure you go to FromScratchWithMaria.com to find out more about this recipe and also other recipes, and check her out on Hallmark's Home and Family. Thank you so much, Maria Provenzano. I appreciate you so much. But hey, while I eat this, you guys stick around because I know your mugs are empty, but guess what? I got a little bit more for you. It's more, please.
Greetings from Hollywood, California. I'm here at the world-famous Magic Castle, a 56-year-old private members-only magic club that's usually only open to exclusive invitations and members only. But since the club's closure in March of the pandemic year, we have had our Dine and Delight program, which is actually open to the public. It's our to-go cuisine from our executive chef, Alex Arrieta. Delicious 4-star cuisine available at affordable prices to anyone in the LA area every Wednesday through Sunday night. All you have to do is go to togo.magiccastle.com, place your order by 4 p.m. the day before, and then come by on your pickup day and pick up your delicious, delicious cuisine. And not only that, we've got cocktails, beer, wine, our special beverages like the Neil Patrick Harris Old Fashioned. We've got it all here for people to experience a little bit of magic during these crazy times. It's called Dine and Delight, togo.magiccastle.com. Safe pickup from the Magic Castle directly into your vehicle at affordable prices. Bring the magic home.
All right, before we go, I just have a little bit more for you. So in keeping up with our Halloween week, I wanted to showcase a good friend of mine. His name is Brent Huser. He is an amazing performer, actor, singer, dancer, and pumpkin carver. He makes some of the most amazing pumpkins. Like, his carvings look like portraits, and like he does some of the most creative things with pumpkins. So if you want to take your pumpkin to the next level, make sure you go and check him out at Brent Pumpkins on Instagram. That's at Brent Pumpkins on Instagram. All right, everyone, that has been all the tea that I have for you this week. I hope you have a very happy Halloween and enjoy yourself and be safe, and come back next week. Well, I'll give you more.